Hello and welcome to Living Free and Fun. Today's video we are installing a simple switch to turn off the battery so that it doesn't get drained when your RV is in storage. Nice, easy switch, on, off. Subscribe, like. If you have any comments or questions, let us know. The first step is connecting an inverter wire from the battery to the switch. So we have to get that prepared. The inverter wire that I bought, the lug at the end there, so that metal piece right there that attaches to the switch was not big enough. So I had to buy a bigger lug, take the old lug off, attach this one, press it down, and apply some electric tape. You may not need to do this, but this was a step that I wanted to show you guys just in case your lug does not fit the switch that was bought. So we have that cable that we're going to attach. Now we're going to disconnect the batteries. That is battery 2, let's call that. So let's disconnect the negative terminal in battery 2. Then we come over here, we disconnect the positive terminal in battery 1. We go over to the positive terminal in battery 2, disconnect that. Be careful. And then the negative terminal in battery 1 right here. Now we're going to make the holes to attach the switch to the side of the battery box. This may not work for you. This worked for me. Some people attach the switch to the RV itself. I'm attaching it right underneath the handle here, so it's protected a little bit from the elements, from the rain. After that, we are now going to attach the battery cable. So this cable that I'm working with right here, that is the ground coming from the RV. We're going to attach that to one side of the switch. Then the inverter cable that I bought is going to attach from the other side of the switch back to the battery. Some people like to attach this to the RV itself. I thought I didn't want to drill any holes into the RV, so we're attaching this to the side of the battery. Ignore those screws sticking out of that battery box. I was thinking that I was going to put those through, attach this, end of story. They were actually the perfect size. The reason why I wanted to do that in the first place is that the screw end would be flush against the inside of the battery box so it didn't rub on the battery. It turns out they were the perfect size, and you'll see that in a second. So what I did there was attach the inverter to the other side. The inverter is going to go from the switch back to the negative terminal on battery 2. Now I'm going to attach the screws from this side, like mentioned before. I flipped the battery box just to make it a little bit easier. Again, you're working in that tight space and you don't want to disconnect these cables from the switch. Now just attaching the bolts to the other side. Nice and tight. And like I said, you don't want these screws sticking too far through and scratching out the battery. So make sure they're nice and tight, or if they're too long, go in from this side. I attached some duct tape. You can attach some foam for ours. I just wanted a little bit of a smoother surface just to avoid any scratches to the battery. Our battery box it's not too tight, so we've got some room, but when you're driving and there's a lot of bumps, the battery's certainly going to touch the side here and there. Now we're going to reattach the battery. So we're going to go on the negative side, so we're in reverse of what we did before. Negative side, battery 1. Positive side, battery 2. I removed my wedding ring here. You know, I'm not a battery expert. I don't do this every day, but yeah, definitely take the precautions. And then positive, battery 1. And finally, now from your switch, that negative cable from the switch onto the negative on battery 2. Now it's all connected, it's off, and you just rotate it, turns on, and remember, it's coming from the ground wire from the RV to the switch on the left side, out the right side, back to the battery cable. We tested this and it works perfectly. Like, subscribe. Thank you for watching.